Alright, so this is episode 3, or the third part of our 400 subscriber spectacular. Now, I'm going to try doing it this way so my legs don't fall asleep on me during the review. Now, this third installment is different because unlike the others, which did make it on TV, but it's Fox, well, Fox in Brazil apparently, because I don't recall it ever, or I read somewhere that it was only in South America that they were gonna they broadcasted this thing, and I'm pretty sure if it was on U.S. television, particularly Fox, I'm pretty sure I would have seen it in the 2000s. So this next one, I kid you not, was on like NBC or something like that, and it's I, I I don't understand this. It was showed on Saturdays or something like that. I don't recall seeing it either. I think I never remembered, but it's on NBC on Saturday mornings, if I remember correctly, and so it has the banner of for kids. But it's like the Little Mermaid crossed with Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's just this bizarre mix of setting and tone, which is mixed with noir in there too. So it has these bizarre things. I'll show you the opening clip here because it's just bizarre. Well, I'll show you, then I'll critique it. Okay, let me go back here. Blah 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 blah.
Shrunk from a 32 automatic. So, you suspect foul play? Natural causes. Wait, you gotta get a positive ID from the widow first. A widow when you got a date with the 90 guy in town. Even though the corpse du jour was pretty well filleted, I recognized it as Clam's Casino. Apparently, I wasn't the only one. A great detective once said, she's the kind of fish you took home to Mother. And if Mother didn't like her, the hell with Mother. Angel used to work for me, sort of a fish Friday. But trust me, she always had plenty left over for Saturdays and Sundays. Angel? A gift? What gift? Usually Angel. If you ask me, which nobody did, calamari in on it somehow. Slimy and vertebrate. Hey, it's kind of turning this city into a cesspool. I say you take that 8-legged suction cup downtown and you grill them. Crap, we are downtown. Stupid flounder, flathead. Hey, I'm Pop Legal here. Get your eyes on both sides of your head, would you? Jeez. Tad. I lifted prints on the brick table and lead pipe, and see if I can get a lead on the 32 automatic. Go.
Okay, so you see what I'm getting at here is the show has quippy dialogue for the noir. It has, apparently from the 90s, erotic sex appeal because it was inspired by Who Framed Roger Rabbit, among a couple of other shows. And it has apparently another inspiration because that one character who was speaking not in sync but ahead of Gil the dialogue, that was an inspiration from Radar from MASH. Yeah, he does that a couple of times throughout the series. I like a lot. If this is like for kids, I don't know what the hell they were drinking because it's like, yeah, totes for kids, sure. Because I mean, every other line is either an innuendo or a metaphor or some joke, and it gets a little tiresome sometimes. I'm watching these episodes back to back where it's line innuendo, line innuendo, line innuendo, or double entendre, and it's like, okay, we get it. You're all adults speaking adult language, but it's like, do you really need to fill in your dialogue with so much, metaphor and innuendos? It's just like, give it a break sometimes. Give it a bit more, a bit more spacing, because you're constantly bombarded by all that talk, and it's like, hey. So, but the mysteries and the noir is nice. I mean, you get some decent character arcs and dynamics between characters, because we have Gil, his partner, the radar type character, the crabby cabbie, Angel, and the various mobsters and one-off villains that do pop up in the series, and not to mention, there's also this character. Let's see, should be right about here.
This place belongs to Pearl. She's smart. That's good. She wants a husband. That's bad. She's ambitious. That's good. But she wants me, and that's bad. I want her too. That's good. But not permanently. And that's the way it is. At least for now.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing, Gil. Every morning for 5 years, you come in here, you order your usual cup of coffee, black, then you ask for cream and sugar. You call your mother every Thursday, except you do it on Friday. And your favorite color is red, but you wear nothing but beige. I know everything there is to know about you. It's getting to be a chronic condition.
Pearl, honey, sweetie doll, babe, you know how I feel about you.
How?
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 Why do you talk like that?
Because all the great couples talk like that. Fred and Wilma, Kermit and Miss Piggy, Rocky and Bullwinkle. Next time, get out of the way a little faster, you stupid low-life squid. Hey, make sure you get all that ink off my windshield.
How does he stay so cheery?
High fiber diet.
So, as you can see, it has a unique tone. And it's not stupid. It doesn't talk down to its audience, which is a good plus. I mean, a lot of shows really talk down to the audience if they're trying to convey anything, whether it be a moral or an adventure or any real information. They'll talk down and do the exposition scenes, where they go over stuff like 3 or 4 times, stuff like that. So this actually have characters who actually are dead. They don't go to the hospital planet or everyone is body positive. That's what it means to be the 90s. The 90s was kind of nice in its own way. You know, you have different characters who were different dynamics. You have the ex-girlfriend, the current girlfriend who wants to you just want to, hey, the Gil wants her to have just be a current girlfriend and not a committed, not necessarily committed girlfriend, but like not a wife. He just wants his life to stay consistent. That's it. He wants status quo. He likes it as it is. He doesn't want to, change it because then it might get worse. Or, sorry, he might actually have to put more effort into their relationship. So you have gangsters that are actually, when they're in the episode, are totally innocent because it's like they're not the bad guy. They're just there as kind of but not necessarily a red herring, but as more of, we got to go through the usual suspects, before you actually get to the real culprit, which is nice. Other than that, no. Other than the constant innuendos, I have no real gripe with this series. I rather like it. I wish I could get it on DVD. But but yeah, it's rather quite adult orientated with all the dialogue. What else is there? What else is there to say? Come on, think. Death feels a lot more real because characters do die on the show, like at least a good handful, at least. So when a character is dead, like I showed you in that first clip, yeah, that character's dead. That character does not just come back in the next episode. We've had a small handful of characters die off. Traitors, we've had the quite a few of the backstabber episodes. Where it's like we're supposed to work together. Oh no, I seem to have curse your sudden yet inevitable betrayal. It's like that. It is good. It is a good show for a TV type of setting or type. It's type. It's made for TV. It actually is pretty good. Same as Axe and Spicy City. Sorry, City Hunters, Axe, and Spicy City. You know, as adult orientated as they are, to be shown on Fox, well, Fox Brazil, HBO, and apparently NBC on Saturdays. These are all rather very good and enjoyably adult orientated. They're not lowbrow, they're not disgusting, they're not, do the dick jokes. I hate dick jokes. It's stupid, it's lowbrow. It's low hanging fruit. It's like, let's go for the easy laughs. So, um, they all, you know, work for a good quality entertainment. They talk to their audience, never down to their audience. Nothing's ever played. Well, not too much for laughs, but nothing is at the expense of comedy, or the comedy is never at the expense of, trying to get a laugh. You understand? It's quality humor. It's quality action, quality drama. There are tragedies in these things. There are heartbreaks in these things, in these episodes. Axe in his storyline, is just he needs to become not necessarily a better person, but a more confident person to realize that there is more to life than his first love, because he was such a simple, basic character, and now that he's kind of more road worry or whatever, he's kind of more experienced in more life. There's more to do and be, more than just one state or number of states to be. There are a lot more states to be. He realizes, you know, what he was once fixated on is not what he ultimately needs. He didn't need his girlfriend. He thought he was so in love with her. He's so heartbroken. Then by the end, it's like, yeah, I can live without you. It's okay. I don't need you to be fulfilled in life. You know. And since he's probably seen there a lot different other types of girls in there, he probably has a different type now. I don't know what her definition was, because each one has their own title for the type of girl. So I don't know what hers is exactly. I can't remember off the top of my head. But now that he's seen all these different types of girls, he finally has a different understanding of what kind of woman he wants in his life, whoever that may be. Again, it kind of sets it up that there might be further adventures if it ever get picked up for a second season, but it didn't. But it's still a darn good series for what it is. Yeah, so all these shows are good. The good adult orientated stuff. Same as Good Enough. I hear it's pretty good. Um, no, not Good Enough. Close Enough. Those people. Infinity Train. Those people are doing pretty good. I like that. I like the news that the fact that the fourth season's coming out. And they tried to fool me there. It almost had me. There was only 2 twists this can go. You can't fool me. I've been at this far, far too long. But yes, I'm glad that it went away from Cartoon Network onto HBO Max because now they actually can show characters can die in this, you know, dangerous, dangerous, dangerous world that the Infinity Train inhabits. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure people have died and on screen, by the way. So, well, necessarily on screen, but they can show that it's definitely death and not, you know, the hospital planet again. So, yes, it's up there with them, you know, the way some shows should be. You know, you should make shows different, not just for kids. You know, you can make different things, different shows, particularly animations for different people, particularly an older audience, without having to go edgy and dark. You know, you can have lighthearted shows. You know, like Harley Quinn, like God, God, my mind's blanking. All the other more adult shows, which are pretty good, like you know, You Animal. You know, that's pretty good. It doesn't really have a heroine. It has a protagonist, more or less. It, well, her storyline is she just wants more out of life and is willing to, you know, cheat on her current boyfriend in order to have a good life, to feel special, to feel wanted, you know, to feel valued by someone who has value. You know, it's an understandable concept. It's a very selfish concept, but it's an understandable concept. That's why you're never really rooting for her. You're kind of more just going along for the ride, experiencing various different viewpoints, you know, her viewpoint. So you're never there cheering for her. You're just watching the scene play out. So it's inevitable and ultimate, rather um, predictable conclusion. Because how else is this going to end? And you don't feel sad about it. You feel like, well, you know, what else is going to happen? So, but it was a fun ride. So what it is, it's just a fun ride, and I like that. I like that it's a fun ride. It doesn't have a clear cut good or bad person, but just life. It's just life. That's what all these shows are. It's life. You know, it's life experiences, and you grow and you become a different person, possibly a better person. You know, uh, that's all I could say. That's why I like these shows. That's why I like more adult oriented shows. It doesn't go back to zero. You know, and we start all over again with a different scenario. It's not necessarily continuity ish, but it has the character by the end be a different character, a more evolved character by the end. That's what I like about these shows. That's why I like Owl House, you know, um, and maybe not exactly Ducktales, but Ducktales still too can have epic, you know, stuff in there too, and all that other fun stuff in there too, while still being a kids show. And yeah, that's I guess that's about it. I'm sorry if I can't, you know, bring up the hype exactly, but because it's also after midnight and I don't want to be too loud. But that's the thing. These shows are awesome. And we're in an era now where we can finally have more adult shows without having to be edgy, without having to be grim dark. You know, now we just need a production company studio to actually make an actual animated movie that's not, you know, Disney esque. You know, but I really doubt that. We can't even have Space Jam 2 without having Lola have no tits and Pepe Le Pew, who has a scene that says Pepe Le Pew being Pepe Le Pew, being, you know, a bit of aggressive asshole and giving him the smackdown, to have that be deleted. But it's like, wait, what? We're doing the same thing again? Because, like in Spider Man, what's it? Or Daredevil? No, it was Spider Man. Back in the day, in the late 70s, I believe it was, there was an anti drug storyline. But then they canned it because it had drugs in it. They said, yes, but it's an anti drug storyline. Well, it still has the words drug in it. It's like, yes, but the point is the anti drugs. It's anti drug. Oh, it's like, oh, crap. So it's like that. Where it's like, we're going to talk about, you know, safe sex. Well, you can't talk about sex. But it's safe sex. This is what people need to know. But it's about sex. We cannot talk about that. It's like that, where you're trying to inform people about the bad stuff in life, But then no one wants to talk about the bad stuff in life, to be informed of what to do. You know, just reminds me of that stupid Elmo scene with the smoke. That's supposed to be its equivalent of 9/11. So you see Elmo be traumatized. It's like that was smoke coming out of the back room. You could easily have walked out of the building and still would have been perfectly safe. It's like, there's a fire. Everyone, leave the room. Oh no! And then Elmo's like this traumatized thing. It's like, look, if you're gonna do trauma, you have to actually have a bit more of a dramatic thing, not just, oh no, there's a fire in the brick, building. We are so trapped. Dear God, we are all going to die. It's like that. It's like, if you're going to give it oomph, where you can have the outcome. I know Elmo's an emotional wreck at times. He was over an emotional wreck. But for the love of God, if you're going to give him something to really be traumatized about, give it to him. But you don't. That's the thing. Everyone keeps pulling their punches. And you don't have to. It's okay. It's okay. Hell, there was a PSA about drugs, and they had a massive crossover with a bunch of characters to help resolve it rather a bit cartoonishly, and in a cartoonishly resolution, which is a hasty, we got over it, or we're going to get through it. But it was something that was talked about. They expressed the ups and downs of this. It's like, oh yeah, it might not be fun right now, but then, in an hour, you're going to be a wreck. They talk about it. It's nature, and that's what I loved about it. And I was a kid, and I understood it, and I liked it. You know. So, yes. In conclusion, I like these shows. I like Fish Police. That's why I downloaded them and hope to keep them as long as I can. And if I find them on bootleg, I'll buy them. And I'll buy any other adult-orientated animated thing that isn't too childish, or is adult-orientated. It would be nice, because that's just the kind of collector I am. So I hope you've enjoyed this. And if I find another animated feature again, maybe at the 500th um, subscriber spectacular, which apparently is a lot sooner than I thought, because I already have like 417 or something like that, and it's only been a few days since the last time I put up this video. So it's like, wow. So who knows? Maybe by the summer I might have another 500 subscribers spectacular. Who knows? But until that point, fair, faithful viewer, we'll see you again. And things are looking better. Things are looking better. Alright? So see you next time. Hang in there. See you at the drive-ins, which will never die. Bye.